Car shopping can be confusing with terms like dealer price, list price, invoice. TrueCar shows you what other people paid for the car you want, so you can recognize a good price when you're ready to buy a new or used car. Visit TrueCar and enjoy a more confident car buying experience. He's won a Super Bowl. He's been in a couple Pro Bowls. He's Greg Jennings. He joins us on the In the Herd here on Fox Sports Radio and Fox Sports 1. We're watching the Senior Bowl, and there's a lot of talk of Baker Mayfield, and people want him to be Russell Wilson, right? And is he Russell Wilson? Is he Johnny Manziel, right? Same offense as Manziel. Or is he even Case Keenum, right? Case Keenum put up huge numbers, same offense at the University of Houston. And like one of the things that I understand, the quarterback is mostly a neck up position, right? You gotta handle people, deal with people, read defenses. You got to be accountable. You got a leader of a franchise. A lot of things that go into it. But we focus a lot on intangibles. There's also the tangibles. Like Nick Foles just has a cannon for an arm. And even though his confidence has gone up and down, he was able to show off that arm in cold weather in Philadelphia, make throws that Case Keenum couldn't make. How do you evaluate quarterbacks and how they will play in the NFL when you're trying to find the balance? And you've played with some great ones between tangibles and intangibles.
Well, number one for me, if I'm an owner or I'm a GM, I'm looking at your complete package, like who you are on the field, who you are off the field. Are you a positive influence on the field? Are you a positive influence off the field? Can you allow guys or can you make guys better around you? And when I look at Baker Mayfield, I think he's one of the top competitors coming out of college football. I don't give him any knocks there, but when I look at his off the field attributes, I'm not in love with them because he has some deals that he's been involved in that are not, for me, again, as a quarterback, you almost have to be flawless. You almost have to be flawless on the field, off the field. But if we're looking at just his tangibles as far as throwing the football, making plays on the field, he's a run-first guy, throw the ball second. He's not a very accurate guy. He doesn't have an amazing arm that shocks you, that wows you when you watch him throw the ball. So he's going to get a lot of comparisons to a Johnny Manziel. Your Case Keenum, that's the first time I've heard somebody say Case Keenum. I would take him. I would take him being Case Keenum because I believe he has a better arm than Case Keenum.
Yes.
So I would take that. If you talk about being tough, he's tough.
Yep.
He can be elusive in and around the pocket. Can he make the throws on a consistent basis? That's going to be what separates Baker Mayfield from the Russell Wilson category.
The Cowboys have said, Jerry Jones said they want to have a more Dak-friendly offense. Translate that to me. What does that mean?
Give the ball to Ezekiel Elliott.
Well, he's got to be there, right? He's got to be eligible to play. That's a big part of it.
When I first heard this, I'm thinking, okay, what made us fall in love with Dak out the gate? And that was because he had great offensive line play. He wasn't asked to do a whole lot because, we got Tony Romo. If we want to put the load on our quarterback, we can insert Tony Romo. Well, without Tony Romo, you don't have a guy who's in his ear constantly, who he's getting all the secrets and the nuances of being a quarterback. He kind of was privileged to have that expert guy on the sideline, even though Tony Romo isn't Hall of Fame type guy, but he was afforded to have one of the best, if not one of the top 3 backs in the league, both running the football and catching the football out of the backfield as a comfort net or a safety net.
Yep.
And so that made us identify the Dallas Cowboys as, you know what, this team is great with Dak Prescott. He's more of a manager type guy. No quarterback wants to hear that, but that's what he did the year that they were successful.
How's the converse? How's this really go with Dez? Like you've played in the NFL. You've had to switch teams. Okay, does he have to switch teams? Does he take less money and a lesser role? Like, how does it really work?
Doug, I've said this earlier in the week. If I'm Dez Bryant and they come to me and they ask me to take a pay cut, take it. And I know that now. And it's easy for me to say that now because I did not do that when I was asked. And eventually every player, once that guaranteed money is up and your play isn't continuing to excel, they don't care how old you are. They don't care the dollar. Look, we want constant improvement. We want to get the most bang for our buck. And Des Bryant, he doesn't make Dak Prescott better. So when you look at that, you weigh that in now too. Like, man, he's not allowing our young quarterback to grow because he's not a route tree guy. He doesn't run every route. He'll say, yeah, I can run any and every route, but he's a fade guy. He's a back shoulder guy. He's an in-cut guy. I mean, he doesn't run slants very well.
Could he morph himself into more of what Anquan Bolden morphed into?
That's tough. Anquan Bolden, that was a special player right there. Anquan Bolden could do it all. But you got to understand, Anquan played quarterback.
Right.
So his mindset was a little different. He saw the game completely different than a lot of receivers.
Super bright guy.
Absolutely.
Whereas Dez is just throw the ball up to me and I'll go get it.
Exactly. The two totally different mindsets and approaches to actually studying the game and playing the game. So I don't think he can evolve into an Anquan Bolden.
There's talk now that if Brady, Colin actually said in this chair yesterday, that if Brady wins this championship, he's the greatest team sport athlete of all time. I had a converse argument to it. Where do you sit on the Brady versus MJ, for example, debate?
I love Tom Brady. Love Tom Brady. I think he's modern era, the most fierce, the most feared competitor out there. Greatest team sport player. No.
Like, he's not even the best quarterback. Now, look, you play with Aaron Rodgers.
No.
To me, he's the better. Aaron Rodgers is actually the better quarterback.
Yeah, Aaron, clearly, I honestly don't think Brady would contest that. As far as talented, Aaron Rodgers is better. I remember Larry Fitzgerald and I used to go back and forth about workout and work ethic and all of these different things. And he told me something that at the time I blew it off. I'm like, because it was banter. It was back and forth. He said, Greg, man, the game is easy for you because you're athletic, you're gifted. You don't have to work really that hard at being athletic, agile, and fast and running routes. He's like, man, I got these hands. This is all I have. Everything else, I have to work at being. That's Tom Brady.
Yeah.
He knows he's not the most talented. He's not the fastest. So he has to beat you in some category that really matters, and that's competitive. When it comes to Michael Jordan, there was nobody beating him in any of those categories. None.
And he was an incredible competitor.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, you have guys making great catches like that Amendola catch, who is next to maybe the Julio Jones catch last year in the Super Bowl up 28-3 is the best catch I've ever seen. Amendola getting the left foot down after the right foot down, considering his size, and rolling away so the ball didn't hit the ground. That was
we had a sample of Phil Jackson without Jordan. Didn't look good.
Well, Phil Jackson did win. He did win in L.A. without Jordan.
No. I'm talking with his stint with the Bulls. Yeah. I mean, he had Kobe and he had Shaq.
All right, look, there's an art to leaking stories. LeBron James, paint by numbers guy. That's next in the herd.
Over 17